So, Clint Watts, let's bring you in here and let's try to put some of this together. I've been writing down notes because there's so much going on here, and there's so many things that are outside the norms for a president and his allies who are now at war with the FBI. You have, of course, the new news that Donald Trump goes up to the acting FBI director and says, "How did you vote?" Extraordinarily inappropriate. It does violence to constitutional norms and the rule of law. He asked Comey, remember, for the loyalty. He then asked Comey to drop the investigation of his national security advisor after he admits that he knows that his national security advisor committed a crime by lying to the FBI. Then, of course, he fired Comey. And then if you look at what happened yesterday, and I really want you to talk about this, this is the most troubling thing. The Republicans now are so desperate because they see that Donald Trump is going to have to go and actually tell the truth, try to tell the truth for once, or fall into what his associates call the perjury trap, which means they know that Donald Trump's a liar. They brought up this, the Republicans are talking about this secret society inside the FBI. They sound like crackpots, that Bill Buckley kicked out of the conservative movement back in the early 1960s. Like, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, Harry Potter and Ron Weasley, all because of an FBI agent who sent text messages to a friend. And we have the Wall Street Journal this morning, that same FBI agent was hesitant to join Robert Mueller's formed team because, quote, "My gut sense is there's nothing there." And yet there is a declared, Lou Dobbs said it, a declared war from the right on the FBI and the Justice Department.
Where do I start? Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. Where do I start? Scarborough doesn't even realize that the FBI agent he's reading of Peter Strzok not wanting to join the Mueller's team, is he's saying there's nothing there. It's fake. There is no conspiracy. There is no collusion, but the rest of it. I mean, where do you start with this guy? He's saying, oh, it's no big deal that these guys are exchanging these email messages that, in effect, pretty much say, they don't pretty much, they say it. We love Hillary Clinton. We hate Donald Trump. We must do everything we can to make sure Hillary Clinton gets elected. And then they did. It just didn't work. And then we got to do everything we can to keep Donald Trump from getting elected. And then it's a conspiracy if you bring anything up. Now, I want to talk about this conspiracy because I said this earlier and I'm going to say it again. The conspiracy of all of this is where the left always tries to make it look like we're a bunch of crackpots. Conspiracy nuts. We're making this stuff up. We're fabricating the idea that the left loved Hillary Clinton and did everything they could to get her elected, hate Donald Trump, did everything they could not to get him elected, and when he did get elected, against all odds, they then plotted his demise. And we don't even know what that demise is. I got asked that question. I wish we had the clip. Kurt found it. I didn't get it. Did we get it for the show? No? Dadgummit, this is when I really want to play it. But I made a comment that in order to investigate these texts correctly, you have to look at what are the possibilities. So if I say something like, man, I will get that guy at all cost, and you just read that text, you go, I wonder what Kevin means by that. If he doesn't like the guy, what's he saying? And no, it's clear he doesn't like him, but we got to get him at all cost. Doesn't matter what it takes. We got to get this guy. So you as just a normal human being, you should have a range of things that come to mind. You should say, well, he could just be talking. It could be meaningless chit-chat. Like, man, if that guy went in front of me, I don't know what I'd do to him. Because you could go, he might, if he's a pansy leftist like most of them are, he'll do nothing. But if it's somebody who knows what they're doing and really is vindictive, he might kill him. What are the circumstances? Did he molest the guy's daughter? Did he beat up the guy's wife or his daughter or his kid or something? There are many things that are extenuating circumstances. Before you can answer that question, you have to know. I'm one of these people that I'm going to question everything. So when I got asked, Kevin, and I think it was Harris Faulkner that asked me on Outnumbered, Kevin, what do you think about these texts? What do you think he meant? And I said, well, look, I'm not one to get inside of anybody's head, but here's the way you have to look at this. Now, I'm talking as an engineer, as a logical person. You can look at this as completely dismiss it, which would be crazy, or are they really interested in doing the ultimate thing to the president? And I didn't even say assassination. I said, do they want to do him harm? Who knows? Wait. And so Harris comes back. I saw the clip earlier because Kirk got it. And she says, Kevin, I just want to be clear, because a producer probably said, make sure you get in front of this with Kevin. He's not saying that the FBI is trying to assassinate Donald Trump. So she says, Kevin, surely you're not implying, I just want to be clear, give you away, you're not implying that the FBI is trying to do anything. I said, no, what I'm implying is, if you're going to look at this, you have to look at it across the board. You can't, is that a possible, I didn't even say this, but I'll say it on the radio so people can understand I'm being very clear. Is it a possibility? Certainly. In as much as it's a possibility that they meant to do absolutely nothing. And it's something in between. And I said that. And they caught more grief. I got a call, believe it or not, I got a call from corporate FBI. Kevin, we can't really say those kind of things. We don't really want people believing, that this is that and the other. And I was like, believing what? Believing that there's a possibility that there are people in government who would really want to do harm to Donald Trump? And trust me, there are. And so Marie Harf was like, well, there are no credible sources. And I was like, well, that's not necessarily true. But they got cut off at that point. So guess what? We got Scarborough saying it's a conspiracy theory. All these things that are happening, conspiracy. The FBI is not after Donald Trump. It just happens that they can't locate 50,000 emails. Oh, wait a minute. The dog ate my homework. Then they come back later and they go, well, there's a possibility that it happened to more than just Strzok and his girlfriend. As if that's going to give you more hope. Like, oh, well, if it's going to happen to more than them, then there you go. I'm just saying, this is just, it's so unbelievable that to hear a Scarborough or any of these other pundits talk, look, guys, I know it frustrates you. Let them talk. They are talking themselves into a circle. Sean Davis, one of the tweets that I read about this, said, this memo I've not read is obviously false and dangerous. And can you believe they won't let senators read it? And also, nobody should be allowed to read it. Oh, and also this dossier from a foreign spy put together by DNC contractors working for shady Russians proves Donald Trump is a traitor. Now, Sean's obviously being very snarky to the left because you've got senators who've not read this false and dangerous document, but they've put all their information, their marbles, if you will, into the false and dangerous fake dossier, which has done nothing to hurt Donald Trump and has done what? Backfired on the senators, or backfired on the Democrats. Good tweet, Sean. What else we got? I love this one. In just one day, thousands more FBI phone texts revealed to have been lost to a glitch. Comey and Strzok lawyered up. Democrats release a counter memo. Sleazy Adam Schiff office flooded with not a bot calls. They actually tried to get us to believe that it was Russian bots that created the release the memo cacophony that all of you probably were a part of if you're on Twitter. Hashtag release the memo. They tried to get us to believe that they were going after Twitter and Facebook to get them to understand why there was this big call to release the memo. And it had to be a Russian attack. That is how much dyed in these people remain on this nonsense Russian story. Here's one from James Brower. It says, so seems that Comey, McCabe, and Rosenstein are all in the 4-page memo. This now proves why Democrats and leftists are losing their minds. It also proves why they keep attaching Russia to it. Gonna be quite interesting to see. You're exactly right, James Brower. At jbro_1776 if you want to reach out to him. Here's a tweet I like as well. Peter J. Hasson, Hasson, at Peter J. Hasson. The most underrated fact about the drama surrounding the FBI agent's text messages is that they were discovered in an inspector general investigation launched at the behest of Democrats in Congress who thought the FBI was biased against Clinton. Now, you want to talk about a tangled web they weaved.